Well, we've been talking about doing an adventure ride on the Pan Americans literally since they came out. I think that was like 3 years ago now, maybe 4.
Yeah, about that.
And then kind of put it off that first year and then promptly shattered my femur. So we had to wait 2 years. So here we are, just about 3 years later.
Darren and I, we've been doing lots of adventures together, whether it's been on mules, back on the Ulysses. We've had a lot of friends coming together. Thomas has been with us, your head mechanic.
Crevier, Dave Estock.
And every time it's been pretty epic. I think we've only had one adventure where it's kind of gone the route.
That we planned.
It went the same way as it was intended. But yeah, every time we kind of mess it up or change it up. But what I find, it's all about the adventure.
Yeah.
You know, finding new places. The scenery is just unbelievable. I think, you know, the scenery we saw over this past weekend is the best of BC. I mean, we're not on the coastline, but no, it's just premium.
Yeah, epic off the hook ride. It was a long time coming. Yeah. Glad we finally got to do it.
In the past, things are always broken. I remember I've had to send you up 2 wheels.
Yeah,
broke
2 rims.
Ulysses wheels once, and I think we might have dented these ones too on the weekend.
Pretty sure we did. Pretty sure we did.
But yeah, I think we got off easy, and usually there's a lot of laughter, a lot of fun. Knowing Steve's with us is always epic. Remember when he clipped Dave's saddlebags and both of them blew off at the same time, and the adventures never go the way they planned, but they always work out to just be a riot.
Yeah,
you know?
tons.
Lots of fun.
Original plan for this trip was to leave early in the morning on Thursday and head out to Hope, BC. That's where we hooked up with you guys. And the plan was to ride up Highway 1 to Lytton, cross over on the friction ferry and follow Texas Creek Road all the way up to Lillooet. But that didn't pan out. It was a washout. We took secondary highway, I think it's Highway 12.
12 up to Lillooet, yeah.
Yeah, a local guy rolled up to us and we were sitting in the ferry lineup and said, hey, where are you guys going? And we said, Lillooet.
You know that 18 miles of bridge there?
Yeah.
Right there, it's all washed straight out.
Can't get through?
No, stumps and trees are 5 feet high.
Okay. Fuck. I guess we're not going that way then. Thanks, man. Yeah. Saved us a hassle. He said, well, up at this mile marker, there's a washout. So we took his word for it because that would be a long way to go in just to turn around and come right back. Well, I guess we turn around and go to Lillooet. So that means quickest way is just ride to Lillooet from here. Just go back up onto the main highway. So we jumped on Highway 12 and bombed up to Lillooet.
Yeah, and then we had the whole rest of the day on, okay, where do we go now?
Yeah, what do we do from here?
They're a lot sooner than expected, so. Yeah, well, the Pan America is, you know, it's a Swiss Army knife for motorcycles.
Yeah.
It kind of does everything well. It's great on the pavement, it's great off-road. It's a real stable bike. It's we were talking about that earlier on how stable the bikes are. It's a little heavier than what we're used to, but you know, they're you get by and it's quick. It's got tons of powers.
Yeah, it definitely has tons of power. It takes a little getting used to from, you know, your standard Harley-Davidson, but it does everything pretty well, I have to say.
You know, I always got to set up the boss's bike because he pulled up. Darren's seat was low. I'm like, let's put that up for you. And then we took the rubbers out of the foot pegs.
No, it was good things too is there. I learned pretty much something new every hour about the motorcycle I was riding. Cause
Did you put it in off-road?
Huh?
Did you put it in off-road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you in off-road or sport mode?
Sport. The off-road. You can change modes while you're riding.
Yeah, from the start, I had the seat.
All the rider aids are on.
Everything. It was just, I wasn't enjoying myself very much. And Stu's like, oh, here, we'll move this and push that and click, click, click. And all of a sudden I was on a different motorcycle. So, yeah. But I was learning the whole time, everything. Because again, I'm not one to sit there and read a manual. I just want to twist the wrist and go.
Well, you know, the motorcycles have so much adjustment with seat heights. They have the adaptive ride height, which is really cool. When you come to a stop, it lowers. Even in the tall seat height position, it's fine for me, but you know, you do have traction control on, which I do like to take off when we're off-road. I even find that there's a little bit more power out of the bike when the traction control's off. But then you got your off-road mode, which softens up your suspension, and you can go off-road plus and take off the ABS. So when you're in the dirt, you don't want your ABS on. So you can switch all that stuff off. And I'm not used to a lot of rider aids. I don't think Darren.
No, that was my issue with the whole thing. I'm just so used to getting on a motorcycle, just going.
Yeah.
You know, I have this dash with 100 different things on it. So it was a good thing Stu was there to walk me through it a couple of times.
You know what? I find you just use your feet.
I do. I thought I was standing, just push.
Push on your feet.
Push on your feet.
That's how they want to turn. Yeah, once it's running, just hold it for like 2 or 3 seconds and then let go, and the light will stay on the dash.
Okay.
Because yeah, every time you get on it, you got to remember, turn the traction control off.
Yeah.
So go into off-road plus.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a routine you get into it. It's just like pulling the choke out on your carbureted bikes. But all those rider aids, they're there for, you know, safety and to make your actual ride more enjoyable. Like when I find the suspension changes when you go in off-road plus, you know, you're going on that washboard stuff and you're still in sport mode and you're jarring, and switch it to off-road, and it makes the ride so much more enjoyable and nice and plush.
We had a few different options of where we wanted to go or where we could go, and we decided to take the road that takes you up to the Seton Portage and to Goldbridge and Braylorn. It is one of the most scenic highways around. It's a 2-lane road. Some of it's dirt. It switches back and forth from dirt and pavement, so you got to be wary of that.
You're right beside a crystal blue lake.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
There's a river leading in with the cliffs and the mountains funneling you through a gap. It's one of those ones you really have to see to believe. And I was thinking of where we first went in, you could see where it was all the sand walls down in, but we didn't stop there. We kept going, but yeah.
We didn't even see any wildlife, which is strange, because there's usually goat up there, mountain goat, bighorn goat, and we were all kind of
waiting to see a bear.
Yeah, we were anxious about seeing a bear up here. Maybe not. It's bear territory. There's signs everywhere. So.
And the weather was perfect. It was bluebird, hot. It was perfect.
Yeah, you know what I like in the morning? I had the heated grips on. Those just kind of took the edge off, and then we just took layers off.
Yeah.
But, once you get that sun on you,
it was baking.
Know, it's nice and warm. It was perfect weather.
Carpenter Lake, right?
There's Seton Lake, which is right in Lillooet there, and I think it is Carpenter Lake.
Okay, so when we got to the end of Carpenter Lake, we stopped to have some lunch. Where we stopped was just outside of Goldbridge, right at the end of Carpenter Lake. So we pulled up down right to the edge of Carpenter Lake and had a little barbecue and fed ourselves, because from that point on, it was a little bit of a race against the sun. Our timing got a little messed up, and just part of off-road travel and traveling, adventure, that sort of thing. And so we were wrapping up kind of lunch, dinner right at like 5 o'clock. And it's a fair ways to Pemberton from there, and you don't want to be in there in the dark if you can avoid it.
No, we were deciding, should we camp or should we punch through?
Or do we go for it? Well, we started going for it, and the first 20K of the road, it's about 50 kilometers all the way through the Hurley Pass. And the first 20 kilometers were pretty good.
Yeah.
They weren't too rough, they were not bad at all, but the temperature was dropping fast. And you're also probably up at,
your elevation.
I would say
high.
6,000 or 7,000 feet. We didn't check for sure, but I would say 6,000 or 7,000 feet. So we saw a couple spots where we could camp, but thinking to ourselves, 2 things: we're in grizzly country, and secondly, it's gonna be cold. Oh yeah, and there's a third one. Right now, we're not allowed to have fires, so it would even be colder. Stu and I made the executive decision and just said we're going for it. And
it was getting dark.
It was getting dark.
My headlight for whatever reason, was pointing up in the trees. Darren's pointing at my headlight because it's not on the ground.
No.
So I ended up having to use Darren's headlight to actually see my way out of there. But you know, it wasn't too dark. It was still okay. But
Once we kind of got to the peak and we dropped down the other side into the Pemberton Valley, it was washboard hell.
yeah,
Like just washboard. If you don't know what washboard is, imagine a washboard and you got to drive on it. It's pretty rough, and it was about 20 kilometers worth of that stuff. And I gotta say, the bikes handled it way better than I thought they would.
I think it was harder on you and I because I'm almost in tears, and I'm like, if Darren can still keep going, then he's a stronger man than I am. But I was about to just give in, but yeah, I think we had to stop and a break right after. But
Yeah.
it got a little tiring after.
Well, when we were coming down and you're watching the kilometers count down, and it's getting darker and darker and darker, and literally we stopped for a break crossing into Pemberton, and it was black. That was it. It was done. We were pretty fortunate. We timed it as close as you could. Mike and I left my place in North Vancouver at 6 a.m. And when we popped out at the bottom of the Hurley crossing, I think it's the Lillooet River.
It is in Pemberton. It might be the Pemberton River.
Yeah, it might be Pemberton River. As soon as we came down into Pemberton and crossed and stopped, it was 8:15 at night. So that's a pretty solid day of riding. And considering we still had another hour or so to go to get to Whistler,
Yep.
and it was dark, and yeah, no, it made for a hell of a day, you know. I've always done everything, you know, trial by fire. I haven't done an adventure like this in over 2.5 years from breaking myself in half. So we did it, pulled it off. Yeah, we went to McDonald's and I'm like, we're going to my dad's house. I'm not sleeping in a tent tonight.
Yeah,
So,
it was a good call.
it was a good call because it was
Been scraping frost off
Oh.
this morning.
great adventure though. And the bikes performed really well. You know, besides Stu's headlight, I don't think we had a single issue.
I think we did 2 wheels in because
We talked about a couple wheels,
yeah.
but they didn't go flat.
Yeah, they burped because
Yeah.
everything was snowing out. But oh well. And you know what? We weren't riding our usual pace.
No.
We've always gone on rides where we've never had cameras.
Yeah.
You know, we usually ride a lot quicker, but you know, this was kind of a good, exciting pace, and we kind of just got to enjoy the scenery a lot more than we usually would too, right? So.
Yeah, normally we're going a hell of a lot faster than that, especially with cameras and using drones and all these sorts of things. But like you just said, I actually got to enjoy everything and check everything out, and so it was a hell of a ride. That's a pretty good day.
It was.
It was a pretty good day.
Yeah. If you ask a motorcyclist why they ride, I think you get a different answer from everybody. I know for you, it's the challenge when you're racing. I'm challenging myself to get to the destination point, but you know, the whole reason I ride, I love using all my senses. I love the smell of the tarmac, you know, going through blackberry bushes that are, you know, the end of the season. I like we talked about the sun warming you up. You're just using all your senses, your sight, your smell. You're not really tasting much.
Yeah.
But on my 2-stroke I do, but
That's just it.
you know.
For me, every motorcycle kind of provides you a different adventure.
yeah.
And on this sort of motorcycle, you really get to experience, especially in British Columbia, the best that BC has to offer. You know, like we start at sea level here,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure at the highest point, we're at 7,000 feet elevation.
Yeah.
And during that ride down in the Pemberton Valley, it's 100 degrees, we're just cooking hot. Same thing coming through Lillooet, going all through that area. And then you get up into the mountains by Goldbridge and Braylorn, and you hit a wall and you feel that temperature change.
Yeah.
Especially like when the sun drops behind the mountains, it's like a 10 to 12 degree swing instantly. So, but for me, when I look at like this sort of riding, for me, it is the adventure. Because some of the roads, yeah, you and I have done to get to an area where we've never done it. So going off and riding in an area that you've never experienced, you don't know. You might ride 100 kilometers in there and have to turn around and come back because it dead ends, you just don't know. But that's something that a motorcycle can provide. And you can do it quickly.
Pan America kind of gets you there too. You know, some bikes, I get to a gravel road, I'm turning around.
Yep.
You know, Pan America, I'm just giving her.
Yeah.
You know, I hit the dirt and you just want to twist the wrist some more, and yeah, it's a fun bike.